Don't you dare, ref. That's he got the ball. Good morning to all Tottenham fans around the world. Rise and shine. It is Carabao Cup semi-final day. Tottenham Hotspur are just potentially 3 games away from lifting our first piece of silverware since 2008. Of course, we are at home and we do need to use this home advantage and give ourselves something heading into that away game at Anfield. And this is our biggest game of the season, and it's not going to be easy either trying to conquer Liverpool. It will also be our toughest challenge today, and we will have to be significantly better than the 6-3 hiding we took off them just before Christmas. However, with a bit of hard work and a little bit of quality, it is possible, and that is the magic of the cup. So, let's get into the lineup that I think Ange Postecoglou's going to pick to try and topple Liverpool. Now, in goal, Ange Postecoglou faces a crucial decision regarding the goalkeeper for this game against Liverpool. And there's 3 options to consider. Fraser, who has returned to training and offers the most experience out of the 3 options. Brandon Austin, who played his first game against Newcastle at the weekend and earned man of the match. Or Antonín Kinský, the new signing who has already joined training, been given his work permit and cleared to play, and was brought in to challenge Vicario. So let me know in the comments who you want to see in goals today. However, for me personally, the swift decision to bring in Kinský, despite they knowing that Fraser Forster would return for this game, suggests that the club does view Kinský as a key figure for these up and coming January fixtures that we have, including cup games and a North London derby in 2 games against relegation teams. This indicates for me a lack of confidence in the likes of Fraser or Austin to deliver in these crucial matches, which for me, I think we will see our first sign in the January transfer window. Antonín Kinský come in and make his debut. I think he's going to be eager to make his debut as well here for Spurs, and there's no better occasion than the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final. What a way to go and make yourself a hero and put yourself on the world stage. And also, if I'm Kinský, I'll be looking at this as a mini opportunity to try and establish himself as Tottenham's number 1, at least until Vicario returns, and then put the question to Ange Postecoglou once that happens. Also, in his signing video, Kinský did highlight his distribution skills, and with Liverpool's fullbacks frequently pushing forward to support their wingers, I think Kinský can use this to his advantage by using his passing ability to be able to quickly release Son and Johnson down the wings during counter-attacks and get at Liverpool that way. It is a baptism of fire for Kinský, but look, apparently he's got the right mindset to cope with it. Let's wait and see. At left back, as well as Sergio Reguilón did do against Newcastle in that second half and really looked up for the fight, taking the game to them. However, I do think Jed Spence will be the preferred option at left back. Of course, was brilliant against Newcastle, playing centre back for the second half, and I would argue better than Radu Dragusin on the day as well. But he's against Liverpool in that 6-3. I know it's hard to say because we lost 6-3, but he kept Mo Salah the quietest that I've seen him all season, and I think we need another big performance, and I think he will play at left back to try and neutralise Salah's impact on this game. At right back, it will be Postman Porro. Since his little mini spell out the team and since his return, like against Newcastle, like we've seen, he is getting back to his best going forward, putting these exquisite deliveries from corners, from crosses in the game and free kicks into the penalty area for players to go and attack, and it is something that we have been missing. Now, of course, Porro has picked up a lot defensively lately. However, there's still some vulnerabilities there, and against Cody Gakpo and Diaz last time out, he really struggled, and he's going to need to fare a lot better this game. At centre-back, it will be the return of Radu Dragusin, who of course was forced off due to illness picking up that bug, and he was fatigued at half-time. That's why they ended up making the substitution. And for me, he was at fault for the Isaac's goal. I thought he should have done a lot better. Look at the size of the guy. He's just got to be a lot stronger in that situation. And against Liverpool in the 6-3, he didn't fill me with confidence either. He put in a very iffy performance, often leaving large gaping holes at centre-back, coming out trying to win balls that he was never going to win. He can't be as rattled this game. We were really going to need him to step up and be a hell of a lot better this game, because he left Archie Gray massively exposed in that 6-3. And joining him will be Archie Gray, who's been absolutely sensational. One of the bright spots through this dark period is how well this kid has adapted and acquitted himself at Tottenham Hotspur, and I think it leaves many fans really excited about what he can offer going forward, especially in that CDM role. Now that he's played all across the back line, something that Ajax do to put players in multiple positions so they have understanding of where everyone else should be on the pitch and what they're looking for in that position, and I think it'll only aid his game going forward. Again, can he put in another brilliant performance? He's been absolutely brilliant since he started here. It's going to be a huge ask, but he really needs a dig out from Radu Dragusin. Now, moving into midfield. I do think Postecoglou will go with a double pivot of Rodrigo Bentancur and Yves Bissouma. Now, starting with Bentancur, of course, he was missing against Newcastle, suspended for accumulation of yellow cards. So he makes his return to the lineup, and I think his presence is a significant boost for Tottenham Hotspur and the midfield in general, especially since he missed the Liverpool game before Christmas as well. I felt in that game it was very end-to-end. We didn't really have any sort of control of the game whatsoever, especially in terms of in possession. And I think this is where Bentancur comes into his own at Tottenham Hotspur. I think he's very assured on the ball, very comfortable on the ball, and often dictates the tempo, know when to slow it down, quicken it up. And I think we have missed that sort of tempo setter in the midfield. I think it's been very panicked, very rushed in that midfield. I bet Bentancur would just bring that calm of assurance. So I'm absolutely buzzing to have him back, and hopefully he makes the desired impact and helps us get a foothold in this game and look to control possession, considering we are at home. In terms of Yves Bissouma, I know many people would argue that Bergvall deserves to come in here, he deserves to play, and I think that's absolutely fair in terms of Bergvall. I think he's absolutely brilliant on the ball, gets the ball in that deeper position and moves it on. However, we are playing against the best team in the country right now, and I do think we will have to earn the right to play, and I think Bissouma is much more effective about going around trying to disrupt than just being a total nuisance. I get it's a risk because in possession he takes far too much time on the ball. He needs to learn you're not going to get that time, especially in the middle of the park. The best midfielders just do it simply. Michael Carrick, Roy Keane, players like that, one touch, move the ball on, and Bissouma could learn a lot from that. And just on the two midfielders in general, I went back and I looked at a lot of the goals in the 6-3, and the first couple of goals actually came from intricate play. Not necessarily the wingers. The ball initially went out wide, but what they were doing is pulling it back to players hanging in and around the edge of the box, and they were just floating balls in over, and it unlocked us very easy. It's something that Klopp used to do with Liverpool coming up against Tottenham Hotspur. And I think for me, the two midfielders really need to stay switched on and go and engage that ball on the edge of the box, realise the danger, and look to snuff it out, and ask Liverpool to ask different questions of you. And then that brings me into the number 10 role, and there's no debate here because James Maddison is suspended for this one, which means Kulusevski will come into the number 10 role, and he was absolutely sensational against Liverpool in that 6-3 going forward. It was him that ended up turning over that ball against McAllister that led to Maddison scoring that goal and getting us a foothold in the game. So we need more of that industrious work from Kulusevski, but I would argue I would also like to see a little bit more quality than what we've seen against Newcastle from him, because I think everyone will agree, he's a brilliant player, he gets into dangerous positions, but sometimes that consistency when he's in them dangerous positions, it's not at that level of the top class players yet, and we could really do with Kulusevski stepping up and punching Liverpool with any chance we get going forward. We can't afford to waste opportunities like we have in recent games. Now let's move into the forward line, and we will start out at left wing, and it will be the return of the captain Son Heung-min, who of course was dropped against Newcastle. Not dropped, I would argue rested, so that he could be fit and fresh for this game, looking to make a massive impact, which means, no surprise, and I don't think any fan is complaining, Timo Werner makes way. With Son, of course, his form has been poor this year, but I put it down to him being overused and us not having the correct options to be able to rest him in games and pick and manage his minutes, because he is 32, 33 years of age. Talking about 60, 70 games this season, it's near impossible. However, like I said, because he was rested, hopefully we can see a rejuvenated, a fresh, energised Son for this game. And look, he is off the back of the contract extension. He's made no secret about how happy he is for that extension to come about. And this is the games where simply Spurs fans remember great players. This is where you make a name for yourself. You have the likes of Ricky Villas, David Ginolas, Gascoignes, people like that. They make their names in games like this, big games against big opposition. Spurs fans remember the players' 4 cup runs, so this is an opportunity for Son to put himself down in folklore if he's not already. Out at right wing, it will be Brennan Johnson. And look, everybody knows my opinions on him. He's blowing hot and cold far too often for me. However, he did come up with a clutch assist for Dom Solanke against Liverpool. Hopefully he can do the same. We really need Brennan Johnson to step up here. I'd almost forgive him for a lot of what I've seen this season if he steps up in this game. We really need to see that quality in terms of on the ball. He can't just keep relying on finishing other people's moves. At some point he has to start supplying, and there will be space up for him against Robertson. what I would ask is just be brave. Look to go at him. Look to beat him. Put him under pressure. Don't make his game easy, but passing it backwards every time. Believe in yourself, Brennan. You'd be surprised what could come of it. And then that moves me on to the guy up front, and it will be Big Dom Solanke. What a flying header against Newcastle. And that's the sort of service and the deliveries that I'm sure he's been crying out for, but I've also been crying out for him. And he made the absolute most of it. Later on in the game, he had a couple of opportunities as well. Didn't really generate the power behind the headers, which was a bit disappointing. But look, we really need him to step up here. One thing he will do is work relentlessly. But if we are countering Liverpool, what I don't want is balls straight into Dom Solanke when he's got big Virgil van Dijk up his hole. What we need to do is look to hit the ball out wide, avoid Dom Solanke altogether, and then just get him running in on the end of Son and Johnson. That's where the space is going to be in this game, is out wide, and I really want Tottenham to utilise it. Playing it right through the middle is playing into Liverpool's hands. You got Van Dijk there, Gravenberch, players like that who make a living off just sitting in there, tucking in and nipping that ball. We've got to use the space out wide. It's going to be a difficult game for Solanke. Just stay disciplined. Believe your opportunity will come and you will take it. Guys, that's my predicted lineup for the big game tonight. Please give me yours in the comments. Also, how you feeling about the game, along with your score prediction. Anything you agree or disagree with, that is the usual trade-off I make for you watching this. So please get them in the comment section. Guys, I'll see you back here later on for the pre-match build-up. Look, I get everything going on around the club, but for 24 hours, we've got to drop it, get behind the boys like we did against Man United, Man City. You'd be surprised what can come of it. As always, come on you Spurs. In the big hands I trust. We never stop. See you back here later on.